G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And yes, this is my YouTube channel, this is Aussie Antics. Someone hasn't kidnapped me, there's not a new person making this video. It is me. I have shaved my beard yet again. I always do this every so often, I always do it for charity. I've shaved my beard off because I am participating in Movember. I'll be growing out a glorious mustache and trying to raise money and awareness for the Movember Foundation. If you want to check them out or if you want to donate and support, link will be in the description down below. But I thought I'd say that before I say anything because I know you guys are gonna panic. Yes, I now look 12 years old. No, I don't now have the mechanics of a 12-year-old, sadly. But we're going to try to move on from that. I'm going to try not to be too distracting because we have an insane video today. We have to talk about all these new team swaps, and we have some absolutely ridiculous ones. Biggest of all being the NA West FNCS winners, Reet, Fabs, and Snacky have already split. Less than 24 hours after finally beating Epikwhale's team, they have now split, and it's because we have seen the fall of a dynasty. We no longer have Epikwhale, Rex, and Arkhram. We now have Reet, Arkhram, and Epikwhale. And their first day as a trio, they have absolutely dominated in the cash cups. I'm going to talk about why they split, how they're performing, all that. We also have to talk about the other regions as well. We're looking at Aqua's new team. We're going to look at what's going on with Centered, Stretch, and Commandment. Are they still playing together? Are Saf and Zayt back? There's some big team swaps. So let's just jump into it. I know you're thinking, Aussie, why are these teams switching? We just had FNCS finish. This is the last trio FNCS. Well, it's because we have Grand Royale in less than 2 weeks, a $5 million trio event that you qualified by making a final lobby in any set lobby across any of the trio FNCSs this year. So if you made a round 4 of any of the qualifying weeks, if you made heats, if you made reboot rounds, or if you made grand finals, you are eligible to play with a new team. You get to pick 2 players and they don't have to have already qualified. So you're going to see a lot of team swaps, and this is looking like our last major trio event. We could have trio FNCS be the next FNCS, but this is the last FNCS where Epic has guaranteed that it's trios. We have known that every FNCS this year was going to be trios. We don't know what's next, and I'm expecting we get an announcement for what's next at the end of Grand Royale, so that's when we're going to know. But in case you're confused why we already have new trios, this is why. Technically, Grand Royale has a bigger prize pool and is more important than this most recent FNCS, so that's why teams like Epikwhale, Arkhram, and Reet have now just formed. So we're going to jump in with the big one because that is the big topic off the bat. So a lot of people were talking about this because less than 24 hours after they just won FNCS, we had Snacky tweet out that Reet was going to be playing with Epikwhale and Arkhram. I know, insane. Why would Reet swap after just finding a team that could finally beat Epikwhale, Arkhram, and Rex? Well, if you guys haven't been following it for a while now, Rex is a freak of nature. You already know that. Rex is an absolute demon. What you might not know is he basically does not play the game. And I am not kidding. He only plays for Cash Cups and FNCS and does not play any solo Cash Cups, doesn't play any arena, doesn't play any scrims. He just only plays when they play trio tournaments. And he has done that for seasons now. So a lot of people kind of saw this coming, that eventually, I don't know whether it's like Epikwhale and Arkhram wanted someone who's going to grind more, but you'll see Epikwhale and Arkhram playing a bunch of the Asia Cash Cups with Reet. You'll see them doing, you know, creative tokens. You'll see them doing a whole bunch of just 1v1s, 8-mans. They play a lot together because Rex just doesn't play. And I feel like it was inevitable that eventually they were going to want to play with someone who was also grinding the game. And when it's with someone who just beat them, who just proved that on the weekend he is better than them, that is a perfect candidate. But then a lot of people asking, why would Reet no longer play with Fabs and Snacky? He just beat Epikwhale and Arkhram with Fabs and Snacky. Well, I mean, we always ask this question, don't we? This is not the first time we've had a team win an FNCS or do phenomenally well and then split. But more times often than not, the player is right and a lot of us questioning it are wrong and they end up popping off. And that's exactly what's happened today. So we had their first performance together as a full trio. Not only did they win the NA West Cash Cup, they placed top 13 on NA East and they came second on Asia. Now, the Asia Cash Cup, they've done that before. This team always places on Asia, but NA East getting 13th, also, they could have placed even higher. Their last game, they didn't get into a new game, which they could have easily won or got a lot of points and maybe got a top 3 or even won the NA East Cash Cup. They chose to stay in their game that was a dead lobby, not maximizing their points so they could get out of NA East and start playing NA West. So they managed to come 13th, so their game ended right on time and then jumped straight into NA West, which of course they won. And good thing they started on time because they won it on a tiebreaker. So if you watch them play it all today, it was disgusting. It was ridiculous. They already play so well together. They have so much coordination. They have very similar play styles, and It's interesting to see their team dynamic. What is their actual makeup? Who is the IGL? Who's the leader? Who's the fragger? Who's the support? We're going to have to see as that plays out, but 3 such phenomenal players who have been playing well together for so long in different roles. I don't really think they're going to have very, very set roles in my opinion. I think Arkhram is doing most of the IGLing, most of the surge spotting, but obviously Reet is still very, very good at that. So is Epikwhale. I believe Arkhram is doing a lot of the tarping. I think Reet is going like main fragger role, and Epikwhale is kind of taking on a support fragger, but we've talked about this a lot in these days when Fortnite is going to the level it is right now. To be a top tier 1 player, you really have to be adept at almost every role. You have to be able to tarp to a good degree. You have to know how to swap layers. You have to know how to frag. You have to have the mechanics to take high ground. You have to understand where to go for surge. All 3 of them technically, I feel like could fit all 3 roles to a very good degree, but I still believe if I had to pin it down to anything just yet, it would be Arkhram IGL, it would be Epikwhale as the support fragger, and then it would be Reet as the fragger. But what is going on with Rex? It looks like Rex might actually be playing with Fabs and Snacky. I talked to Reet, I DM'd about the whole situation. It looks like that is kind of where it's falling yet, but he's not 100% sure. But we did have Rex playing today with Booger and Muzz in the NA West Cash Cup, but that was just because Booger and Muzz were playing all the Cash Cups today. Mira didn't want to play West, so they had Rex fill in. Funny enough, we actually managed to have a 3v3 between Epikwhale, Arkhram, and Reet against Rex now on his new team. I know it's not an official team, but it was still very funny to watch, and I want to show you the clip just because it's so crazy that a day after FNCS, we have Epikwhale and Arkhram versing Rex.
That's one left.
Yeah, I'm mats. I'm just spam building, okay? They're going for doubles. They're going for doubles. Come through.
I'm box. Get up, Mus. Get up.
I'm just spam building. They're gonna try dropping. Okay.
I got 2 splashes.
Okay, I don't have heal off. You're playing heal.
On our roof, 100.
Try to get an angle. 30 white.
Nice.
My cone. They got that. Just side jump pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
In my box here.
Rocks. Right side, Mus.
Dead.
Nice. I'll get her finish.
Yeah.
I'm dead to zone. I'm
2
trying to
splashes,
zone.
Buzz. 2 splashes.
It's 1v3, I think.
Over 2.
That is zone.
Nice, Buzz. Nice.
Splashes.
Oh, shoddy ass splash.
Okay,
Good use.
good shit.
That's good, bro.
Nice.
This also means you get to watch Arkhram and Epikwhale on stream finally, because Reet has said he'll be streaming every Cash Cup, every FNCS, and the Grand Royale. So we now get to finally watch these 2 players as well. So I'm super excited for it. I believe they're going to be going Believers Beach. I think they still have that locked down. Epikwhale and Arkhram being the kings of Believers for a very long time. Despite Reet's team beating them out of a different drop spot, they had the Corny Complex and Risky split. That is a very risky split, no pun intended. It's very wide, it's very griefable, it's mid-map, it doesn't have as much control, so I believe Believers Beach will be the better option going into Grand Royale, and I think that's what they're going to stick with. Now, moving on to NA East, and this one's more interesting and a bit harder to pick up as well. There's more teams involved. We did have pretty much everyone go crazy and do impression farms on Twitter, basically just making fake teams to get people to click on it, freak out. Everyone was going crazy. Stretch was at the core of it. Center was at the core of it. We had rumors that Zayt was going to come back. Stretch was no longer going to play with Center and Commandment, which made people think it was going to be Stretch, Saf, and Zayt. There's a bunch of rumored teams. Let me talk about the ones that are real, though, or at least I am 99% sure are real. First off, we have Khanada tweeting out, trio is Khanada, Aegis, Saf, landing Sweaty Sands, all events, and me and Saf running duos back, Sweaty, all events. This is super exciting. We have the God Pump Saf himself back. A lot of people questioning what happened to Saf and Zayt. Was I going to do an update video? I didn't feel right talking about the topics. I didn't know what was going on. I believe Saf talked about how his eye surgery meant he needed more time to rest. He couldn't play last season properly, and I didn't want to speculate what was going on with Zayt because we heard he was coming back, then he wasn't. Stretch said, you know, he can't speak for why Zayt and Saf aren't playing. I was thinking we might get an announcement from one of them. That never came, but it looks like Saf is back, which pretty much guarantees Zayt will not be coming back though. So happy for Saf, a little bit sad about Zayt, but that is a really, really good team. That obviously means we no longer have DGen and Aegis playing together, the end of another dynasty there. NA East is now going to finally see Aegis move on with something else. They played phenomenally though. Like, I really don't know. DGen, Aegis, Khanada, I think had everything going for them. They just didn't have a drop spot. DGen and Aegis have been playing together so well for so long now. They've always gone to split, then form back together, so I guess it was inevitable. Eventually, they would split up, but they found themselves a good team regardless. Do we still have Stretch, Saf, and Stretch, Centered, and Commandment? Yes, we do. Stretch tweeting out, Centered, Stretch, and Commandment, and they also played in the NA East Cash Cup today together. They didn't perform too well, sadly. They got a 58th overall, so a little bit of an underperformance, but that is confirmation they are still playing together. Don't really know what's going on with that team today. I guess it's a Cash Cup. Maybe just weren't taking it that seriously, but coming into Grand Royale, I really want to see this team pick up the pace. The other major team we have to talk about is no longer Clix, Tahi, and Sprite. This one was interesting because it broke down on stream. Apparently there was a bunch of arguments going on. They were getting super heated with each other, but this team always makes fun of each other. They're just very loud, vocal teammates, and they like to banter and make fun of each other. So I don't know how real or fake that is, so I don't really want to include it in the video, but all three of them tweeting out separately looking for trios, and this I do think is real. So none of them are going to stick together. They're all looking for entirely new teams, which is a little bit crazy to me. I thought maybe Tahi and Sprite might stick together, but I don't think anyone's really surprised. They didn't make a single round 4 in the qualifiers. They made it to heats. They then didn't make it through heats. They had to win a reboot round, and then they came about middle of the pack with a very good POI in finals. So bit of an underperformance, I think, by most people's standard. A lot of people saying Clix is washed. He's lost it. I still think Clix definitely has it. I would love to see Clix team up with someone who is just a pure IGL tarper that Clix trusts, and he just switches his brain off and just fully frags. Like, I want to see him just play with someone of like a Rise level caliber when it comes to tarping, and just who just builds tunnels. Clix just lands in them, finds frags, and just follows the IGL. I think that is what's going to suit Clix the best at this point, but who knows? We'll see where they land. Those are the major team swaps. We've had some other team swaps move around there. We have Illa switching up teams as well, but I want to make sure we have those 100% before I really talk about them too much. They played the Cash Cup today together, but still, I kind of want to leave that one until we see a little bit more evidence of where they're dropping and things like that. Moving on over to EU, and we have quite a few you'd expect and quite a few you wouldn't expect when it comes to team swaps. So the one you would probably expect to start off with, we have Tayson, Chapix, and Rezon announcing they are splitting as a team. Chapix and Tayson both making tweets saying they're looking for trios, so they are not sticking together. They aren't looking for one. They don't have anyone else they're playing with at this point. They've both said they can play any role, which obviously I'm going to agree. They both can play any role, which makes them very, very flexible. We have Rezon finding a teammate though, making a tweet looking for one with Aqua for Grand Royale and next Cash Cups. Be a Godfighter, please. Prefer German, but not a must. So they could play with an English teammate, but prefer German. Now, this team did still play the Cash Cups together today, Tayson, Chapix, and Rezon, but I think they just played it because none of them had a solid team yet. They are focusing on Grand Royale. Remember, it is going to be $600,000 for first place. That is what the EU guys are focused on. As far as it goes with Aqua and Rezon, that is going to be a disgusting combo. They replied as well, by the way, want a full grind till Grand Royale together and learn everything, so be ready. Very, very cool opportunity for maybe a more underrated player, but I feel like both Aqua and Rezon, especially Aqua, probably doesn't want to take a chance on an underrated player. They're going to try to find someone who is insane for that kind of money. Boop responding, wouldn't Fast Strokey be the obvious choice, which I kind of have to agree with. I think that would be a phenomenal team, but I'm going to trust these guys, especially with EU. I tend to try to stay away from predicting it. I don't know the players and their roles as well as I do on NA East, so I'll stay out of that one. That could make a very cool team, and that could be a good option, but we'll see how they perform when it comes into Grand Royale. I mean, Aqua almost retired and then almost had a podium finish in FNCS. Could have technically won, or second place. Kami's team was pretty insane to beat this most recent FNCS, but played phenomenally well, so I'm excited to see that team. The other one that a lot of people maybe didn't see coming that has come out of the gates on fire, Hen, Vino, and Trulex winning the EU Cash Cup today on 233 points. Vino back into his role as a fragger. He dipped his toe as an IGL, and I think he did very well, and very, very commendable effort for him for someone who has an IGL before. He's played under some of the best IGLs in history like Tayson and Aqua, but that doesn't mean the roles always going to suit you. So having someone who can hard IGL like Trulex and lead the team, and Vino can just step back into a fragging role, was obviously a huge recipe for success. This team fragged. They got 53 elim win in their first game. Clearly, Vino is happy to be back in his main role, so I'm very excited to see that one. The other team that maybe might be confusing some people, Noah Riley's team choosing not to split up. They are going to stay together for this FNCS despite the most recent not so great performance, and they came in fourth in the Cash Cups today. Vidil, Janice, and Noah Riley Australia getting 209 points. So very exciting to see from them. Those are the main EU swaps. I'm sure there's going to be more, especially as a result of Aqua and Rezon looking for a team, and Tayson and Chapix. Like, that is room for so many snake innings. But right now, those are like the definitive guaranteed new teams. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I just really wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with the teams, because Grand Royale's around the corner and I'm already getting super hyped. This is going to be even bigger than the most recent FNCS, so I hope you guys are ready. If you liked today's video, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on anything I talked about today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.